Probably a crazy experience would be like when I made it on the news in the Netherlands. And that was because I was flying with one of my companions to the Mission Leadership Conference that was located in Trinidad. So we were flying from Bonaire to Curacao. And we had to stay the night because our flight was canceled. And this happens a lot, so get ready for delayed and canceled flights. So we had to spend the night in Curacao, and we want to go out processing. I served in the area before. Well, let's go out. Well, it was like 7 p.m. It was already dark, so you should already be careful during that time anyways. But I was just trying to think of what I could do because I didn't know if the missionaries were already going to visit people I had taught, or if they had, or if they were there, we didn't want to show up during their lesson. And so we just went to one neighborhood. We had an amazing lesson with this woman who wasn't fully active in the church. And once again, there's these biker groups of like teenagers. And so this moped started like following us. I was like, okay, it's time for us to go. And then they stopped, and there's like the biker gangs, and these are like just little bikes. They're not big bikes. They're just like little tiny pedaling bikes. And one guy hopped on the moped, and they were following us. I was like, okay, this is not good. Started biking faster. And of course, he wasn't my companion, but he was like one of the other zone leaders, and he was behind me. And then one of the guys on the moped, I look back and my companion was slowing down. I see the guy on the moped was holding out a gun, was yelling in Dutch, and then in English, like, give me the bike, give me the bike. And so like I stop and I like look back at my companion, and he looks at me, and like I kind of just give him the look like, well, like if you want to tackle him, like I'll tackle him. Like if you want to just give him the bike, like I'll do whatever you want. We're just kind of like debating, like 10 seconds looking at each other like, okay, are they really going to shoot us? Are they really going to? Of course, cars like whizzing by during this time, but like no one's paying attention. And so he just gives them the bike, and then they like bike off. Of course, they don't get my bike because there's only two of them, and there's one moped and one stolen bike. So I still have my bike, and we are in this country. We didn't have a phone. And so we just like walk back to the apartment, and we realize we don't have keys for the apartment either. So we just knock on the door of the neighbor, we call the cops, and they come, and of course I understand what they're saying, so the cops are like, oh, these dumb Americans, they made up this dumb story and all these things. The actual investigators for the crime come, and they talk to us when we get to the station. And of course I'm keeping secret that I know Papiamento, I know what they're saying. And they were very, very helpful. They interviewed us. They are very interested because normally it never happens when someone's robbed for a bike because you get shot. You always, always, always lock up your bike. Always lock up your bike. Use those locks. Do not be stupid. But in this case, it was totally different because they had actually they'd robbed us. And so they went through and looked at it. The bike was never found. No one was ever caught, but we were safe and it was fine, but definitely was like adrenaline pumping. Yeah, so I didn't find this out till later, but we made it in the newspaper, and then it actually made it on the news in the Netherlands on the news because, of course, this is in Dutch, so I don't understand everything, but it was basically like, Americans get robbed by gunpoint. Like, it was like a big deal because they robbed us for a bike. And also then it's just like, the Americans seemed confused by these other languages, and I was just like, no one knew that I actually spoke it, but I thought it was best that they didn't know. So, and of course I find this out like a month later. I'm like, they didn't get my permission to put me viral. Like, where's my legal rights? But I didn't know what the legal rights were in the country. So it's just a nice story to say.